What is your competitive advantage in front of the other players on the market?
Obviously we've got the Orange brand, which researches very well in research which we've performed during the year for both consumer customers and business customers. People empathise with the brand. They think it's a very warm brand and one that they like to be associated with, and I think that's been one of our strengths ever since we introduced it, and it will continue to be during 2008. It will continue to be a major differentiator.
Do you believe, that Orange brand is the best brand of the mobile customers in Romania, like last year? You measured another...
Yeah, one out of three of our customers still places it in that ranking. It's my best friend, and as I've said, that's the highest number in proportional terms of any business which uses the Orange brand by some distance. So we're very proud of that. We want to work hard to deliver the level of service which is going to maintain that perception amongst customers. In terms of other areas of differentiation, I think that we're going to continue to seek to drive differentiation in the technical platform which we provide to customers with which they can access data services. When we introduced 3G Plus in June of last year, it was clear from the take-up of data access and content services at that point, which started to extrapolate, and that's continued through to the present day. We've got 7 times as many people on data subscriptions at the end of 2007 as we did at the beginning of 2007. It's clear that that was the inflection point, and therefore we will continue to invest in higher speed data technologies. We've got 3.6 megabits per second right across our 3G footprint, and we've introduced 7.2 megabits per second in hotspots in Bucharest, so we'll densify that in Bucharest, roll it out across some of the other major cities in Romania, and also introduce 14.4 this year. So the continuing drive to stay ahead in terms of speed is going to be a key element of seeking differentiation. We also introduced HSUPA in the end of the third quarter last year, and so that gives uplink speeds of up to 1.4 megabits per second, and I think that'll be very interesting to businesses who want to transfer data files and that type of thing. I read recently some research on the internet. It's quite interesting. Of all the mobile networks in the world, you probably know better than I do exactly how many there are, but I know there's about 330, something like that. Yeah. There's only 35 which have deployed 7.2, and there's only 22 which have deployed HSUPA, so we're really at the cutting edge in Romania in that respect.
What is your first impression about the change to 3.6 to 7.2? There is a lot of clients who migrate of this new technology, or in Bucharest specifically? Well,
obviously people don't exactly migrate, because I think the data cards which we've got and the USB modems have got this 3.6 and 7.2 capability within them, so they use the higher speeds wherever the higher speeds are available. But definitely, as I've said, being able to surf the net elegantly, quickly, being able to download content quickly is the key to accessing the increasing revenues which we want to get from data services. People don't have, to date, let's say up until June when we launched 3G Plus, people were using these services but not in large numbers. Now they've found that they can access these services quickly and elegantly, easily, and it's become a completely different user experience, and I think that is what is going to drive the growth in 2008.
Can you see that today there is no difference between fixed line and mobile connection to the internet, if we are in the Bucharest or in a big town in Romania?
Well, I don't want to make exaggerated claims. Obviously, if you have a fixed wire connection, and some of the cable operators are offering 20 meg now, well, first of all, we can't match that speed, and secondly, if you're delivering these speeds on mobile, then it's obviously a question of how many users there are on the particular cell as to what type of user experience you get. I think that given the investment we've made in capacity and given the area which these higher speeds cover, you do get a very good user experience in general terms. I mean, obviously, if it's a particular time of the evening and a lot of people are using it, then speeds may drop. But in general terms, the feedback that we've got is that people are very pleased with the higher speeds that we're being able to deliver. One thing I would say is that with respect to our larger corporate customers, we've also deployed WiMAX in order to be able to migrate them onto that technology and thereby be able to deliver to them guaranteed throughputs and guaranteed uptime. So we've got this kind of dual approach, these two technologies running side by side. WiMAX for large corporate customers in order to make sure that we give them that guaranteed grade of service. So we restrict the number of customers we put onto that spectrum so we can actually guarantee it on an SLA basis. Whereas with the HSPA technologies, it's obviously best efforts, and as I've said, it depends upon the number of users on a particular cell. But I think if you're using 3G+, then generally speaking you find it a tremendous user experience compared with what it was when 3G was first introduced.
How do you think you will recover the investment?
Well, I was very pleased with the way 3G developed in 2007. As I said, the investment we made, particularly in 3G plus HSPA technologies, has really paid off in terms of the take-up of data services and the incremental revenue which we've earned from data. We made, if you just look at content and data access, we earned more than 3 times as much in 2007 as we did in 2006.
And you have now 1 million users on mobile data?
Yes, that's right.
More than 1 million?
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't say, you're implying by your question that there's some kind of failure. I mean, I think that we're well on track, and I see that the investment which we've made in 3G is going to pay back within 3 years, and that's what we originally projected that it would. I know there was a lot of scepticism in the industry, perhaps even in relatively recent times, about the potential of 3G, but I think that definitely in this country we've proved that if you get the speed right, you get the content right, you can drive significant revenue growth, and there's no problem about getting the payback. I mean, obviously it depends on what you had to pay for the license initially, but here in Romania it was a reasonable cost, so that's been one of the big factors, I think.